Not one, not two, many people have complained about feeling lonely in the last few months. Now, loneliness is not just another feeling that comes because you don't have anybody in your life. It is just one of the factors. But this emptiness that we feel within has a lot to tell you. It is an indicator for you. Now, this year 2022, it has been such a learning, and this video is more of a reflection on the year and the life lessons that I learned from this year. Now, to speak practically, I am in the comforts of my house. I have everything that a human being needs. I am surrounded by the people that love me the most. I have everything. But still, this year was challenging because I had decided to follow my heart, to do things that really matter to me, to be authentic, and to experiment to see what works for me and what does not work for me. But when you see that few things have not worked for you the way you wanted them to, it is heartbreaking. It is really heartbreaking. But after that kind of pain is over, what I came up with actually added a lot of value into my life. It changed the way I look at myself. It brought me the skills and strengths that were hidden inside me but I was neglecting. So what are all these things, I'll be telling in upcoming videos, because it is a surprise that what I did after all those kinds of failures, and it really helped me rise my own image in my eyes. I really started feeling good about those things. So the first lesson I learned this year was of self-acceptance. Self-acceptance means accepting your nature the way you are and not trying to pretend to be somebody else. You know, I always thought when I was young that somehow I always have to be strong. You know, I need to be very strong as a woman, which is good. But a strength of women is very different, or the strength of me is very different. My leadership style is very different from that of others. My leadership style comes more of with nurturing, caring, understanding people's pain point and then telling them what to do or then giving them work. I'm not one of those leaders that can order and just get things done. But yes, I can get things done from people, but in a very polite and sweet way. And I like to bond and connect with people. So what I was trying to do in the past few years was to become like that strong alpha leader, because those people are more successful. But that's not something that resonates with my own nature. So this is going against my authenticity, right? So that's what I learned this year, to accept my gifts the way they are, because the compassion I have in my heart, because my ability to understand other people's pain, I can really solve people's problem. Otherwise, I wouldn't ever be a people's problem solver. So I need to accept my gifts because they are really my gifts. So I always give this analogy that we are born with a crown of our gifts and we throw it away because people say that you're too emotional, you're too sensitive, you cry for stupid things, you don't even know what do you want from life. And it's absolutely okay to stay in confusion, in self-doubt and in the gray area. Sometimes it's absolutely okay to know what you want, and sometimes it's absolutely okay to not know what you want, because that is the time when you will dig deep, understand, experiment and give yourself the time and space to find out what do you really want. But yes, do not be in that analysis paralysis for a long time. Experiment with things and know that some things will work and some things will not work. So I allowed myself to be vague. It's okay to be vague, abstract. You know, when I teach communication and when I tell people when they're in professional setups that be crisp and clear and precise in your communication, even I prefer that in that kind of scenarios. But in such video where I'm speaking my heart out, I do not need to be concise. I do not need to be precise. I do not need to fit into a box. That's what I'm trying to make people understand. And why people are feeling lonely is because they have created so much separation between each other that they're trying to fit themselves into a box. Now, what is the difference between fitting into a box and belonging somewhere? Now, see, if you see your family is a place of belonging, at least for me it is, where I need to be more of who I am and I am accepted for this thing. Even if I do stupid things, I am accepted. Even if I do something which is good, I am accepted. But to fit in, I need to wear a fake mask of being, extremely strong, that alpha type of a woman, which I'm not. That is called fitting in. For fitting in, you need to wear masks. And when you wear too many masks, you feel very, very lonely. You start feeling separated from people. So if you're feeling lonely, what are you going to do? First, you're going to see what kind of masks are you wearing. What is the thing that is not authentically you, and you're going to throw away those masks. And put your crowns back. Whatever strengths you came with, put those crowns back. Second, you are going to practice powerless communication. What is powerless communication? Talking about your fears, insecurities, and all the negative stuff that we usually hide. Bonding and connection happens when you talk about something that is not working well for you. If you just talk about everything that is good about you, okay, if I tell in this video, if I was just telling what were my achievements in 2022, only those people who run behind only achievements would see this video. But the whole group of people, normal people who go through achievements and setbacks and learn the lessons, would not like this video, because we all have all the three. So talk more about your setbacks and your lessons, because that's how human beings are bonding with each other. We never bond by perfection. We bond by imperfection. That is something that we need to always remember. The third and very big reason of feeling loneliness is your spiritual suffering. Now, people who are not into spirituality might not understand this. Sorry, I'm not well today, but I wanted to make this video anyways. So people who are going through spiritual suffering, that means even though they are around people, even though their lives are excellent, even everything is there that a human being wants, but still they're not feeling good about themselves, is because they want to expand themselves from within. All of the human beings have this desire to become something more than that what we are right now. Okay, so some people exercise in a way of becoming greedy. They want more money. Some people want more relationships. They want more connections. Some people want more cars, more bikes. They want to study more. So the best way to actually expand yourself is to expand your knowledge. Knowledge just not by reading books, but knowledge by realizing who you are. So loneliness is an indicator that you want to learn more about yourself. And that is what I learned this year. Every time that I feel empty, I just sit down with that emptiness and I go back to my spiritual studies. I have a time of day set where I am completely alone studying my spiritual things that I have, practicing my meditations. Eventually I understood that I am somebody who needs people as well as isolation. And this isolation is a self-choice. I have chosen it for myself. So it is not loneliness for me anymore. I have understood that isolation is my need. I need to be isolated for 2 to 3 hours. And now even my family understand that yes, it's a need. She's not ignoring us. She needs her space. So in that space, I practice my meditation. I do my spiritual studies. If I have to read any books, I will do it at that time. And rest of the time I'm interacting with the world, which is making my life richer and richer. And this is the life lesson, that you need to make your time schedules according to your nature and your personality and your internal urges. And nobody can give you any logical reason as to why this spiritual suffering is there, but it is there. And it's not me who experience it just, it's so many people who experience it. For time being, you might be able to avoid that spiritual suffering or emptiness by talking to somebody or by doing something, by eating your favorite food. But in the longer run, if you're not able to expand your mind with that kind of rich knowledge, you will never feel satisfied. So what do you do when you're going through all these things? Whatever you feel curious about, you start learning about it. And you allow yourself to be alone. Okay, I'm talking all these things for the people who are mentally absolutely healthy, not diagnosed with any kind of mental illness, okay? In that case, you should do everything that your psychiatrist has prescribed you to do, your counselor, your therapist has prescribed you to do. This I'm talking about people who are healthy but they still feel like I'm suffering in some way. This used to happen with me, and I did not find any reason, because none of the doctor ever said that I have any kind of illness or suffering. But I used to suffer because I am not satisfied with the things I know, and I know that there is so much more to know. There is so much more to understand and learn, and this urge pushes you towards many things, and you learn many new things. And that's what I've understood, that I'm a very vague personality. I am a personal development coach, I work in IT, I mentor students, I do a lot of things, and I used to be stamped as a jack of all trades and master of none. Well, I'm not born to be like that. I have accepted that my intelligence is meant to do something differently, and I will give myself the time and space to do that. Even if you ask me today, yes, I am certain about few things in my life, and I'm uncertain about many things in my life, and I am okay with it. And this is the feeling that I want to enter 2023, because I know when I'll make my 2023 video, I would have been doing something so different that I did not expect. And this is the best thing about my life, that it is a surprise, it's a gift for me, and I'm grateful for it. Okay, so please be authentic to yourself, because you will be living a life that is yours, that is not a second hand life, that is not based on social comparison. It is truly your life, and you would be living it because you want to. There's no other reason. So I hope and wish and I bless every one of you with a lot of freedom to make choices and a sense of responsibility towards you and every other being in this world. Thank you.